What was in the bottle?
Vodka. I don't
I'm
know.
sure it was kerosene, vinegar,
No.
just straight vodka. This is under state statute. Mr. Tim George is your attorney, and we have not resolved the matter. You're asking me to set this for a final pretrial.
That's correct, Your Honor. We need to do a little further investigation on our part, and we'd just like to set it out for final pretrial.
What's the blood alcohol? Do we know?
I think it's a 0.12, Your Honor.
Is there an offer of impaired?
There's an offer of an OWI first. We need to, based on some information I have from my client, I need to double check the prior conviction, but we're also going to get some assessments done in the meantime.
All right, very good. Mr. Wisk, you're good to go. Stay in contact with your lawyer. Are you still at Clet Road, Constantine?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I don't see that you owe me any money, so you're good to go. We'll set that on a Thursday afternoon. Don't yet know when that is, but we'll give you notice of it. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Keyshawn Rhodes. Good morning, sir. This is file number 25111 SD, People versus Keyshawn Rhodes. Here with his lawyer, Mr. Timothy George. Mr. Rhodes got charged on a formal complaint alleging that on or about May 11th, he was operating on Frank Jones Road, which is where the cattle dairy farm is, on May 11th while intoxicated. That's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Carries 6 points on your driver's license and requires that your license be suspended. It appears the prosecutors agreed to reduce that to a lesser charge of impaired driving. Is that correct, Mr. George?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Which is better for the defendant. Impaired driving is also a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $300 rather than $500. Carries 4 points rather than 6. And most importantly, allows you to keep a restricted driver's license to drive to and from and in the course of employment. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to that charge?
No, sir.
Or promise you anything?
No.
You heard me go through the advice of rights and you provided me with a signed copy of them. Do you understand that you'll be giving those rights up by entering this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. George, I appreciate the signed advice of rights. It saves me 5 minutes in
Yes,
each
sir.
case. All right, according to this, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and not much good happens at 3 a.m. on May 11th. May 11th was a Saturday night into Sunday morning. Jimmy Buffett says there's a fine line between Saturday night and Sunday morning. And they pulled you over Leland and Frank Jones Road. Where were you? How'd you happen to be out there?
I was just trying to make it back home to Kalamazoo.
Where were you coming from?
I was down at my mom's house.
All right, well, there's a way to get there from there, but it's pretty convoluted. You'd gone off the side of the road. They gave you a breath test and the PBT was 167 and the breath test was 195. Is that true?
Yeah.
What were you drinking?
A lot, beers and probably vodka.
Takes a lot to get your blood alcohol to 0.195. It is a long way from Sturgis to Kalamazoo going through there. Fortunately, you went off in a ditch. Fortunately, you didn't hurt yourself or anybody else. The law requires that I set this for what's called screening and sentencing. So we'll pick a date, probably into September. Vacation season is mostly over. I have to get through conference week. Let's see what works for Mr. George. Oops. October. How about Monday, September 15th at 11? Does that work?
I have status conferences that morning, Your Honor.
No.
I'm open on the 22nd.
All right. That should work, and we'll try to set your cases for 9/22. What do you do, Mr. Rhodes? I think you told me at your arraignment, but I forgot.
Yeah, I'm working at Southern Colony up in Portage.
Okay.
Your Honor, did you say 10:30 or 11?
11.
Okay.
I do some other ones at 10:30, but I do the drinking driving ones at 11 to give the probation department time to finish this report if needed. All right, if you take the whole day off, you can go to the fair after you get sentenced. Monday, September 22nd is Fair Week. All right, I'm going to send you out to the court office with this, and they'll set you up for what's called screening and sentencing. It's a pretty good plea offer for an accident with a high blood alcohol level. Are you on probation or parole anyplace else?
No,
Are you still at the Angelo Avenue address?
correct.
All right, you're all good. I'll see you on the 22nd.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, we're moving. I got a herd of turtles here, but all right, let's see who we got next. Tommy Clay Willis.
Morning, Alan.
Good morning, sir. You wore a shirt and tie the last time you were here too, which again shows that you respect the process. Are you Tommy Willis?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Willis, similar to the last case, you're charged with operating while intoxicated. You live outside of town here on Truckendiller Road. Once again, the prosecutor has agreed to reduce this to a charge of impaired driving. Is that your understanding, Mr. George?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Willis, did you hear me explain the difference between impaired and operating intoxicated with the last case?
Yes, Your Honor.
It will allow you to keep a restricted driver's license, which is a good benefit. Let's take a look at your case. Mr. Rhodes was not doing too great. Let's see how you were doing. If I find it. Yours was also a formal complaint that alleges on or about May 16th that you were operating while intoxicated on Nottawa Road. Affidavit, if there is one. 2:40, again, very late at night. May 16th was a Thursday night into early Friday morning. There was a crash. BAC of 0.192. Similar to the last case, late at night, out in the country, more than 2 times the legal limit. What were you drinking?
Tito's vodka, Your Honor.
With what?
Grapefruit soda.
Where were you going?
So I was intentionally going to the Shell Mart in Centerville, but the power was out. That was a night of a really big storm that hit us. And so I ended up going to Mendon instead. I was picking up a vape, nicotine. I was out. My wife was home with the baby and her sister. And on my way home, I was about to cross the intersection of Butler Road while driving out south on Ottawa Road, and the storm cleanup crew truck cut me off. I hit my brakes and I slid into the field.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't worse than that. Yes, it was a very bad night. We had no power the next day at the courthouse. Friday, May 17th was sunny and bright, but we had no electricity in Centerville the whole day. Where do you work?
I work in Mendon at TH Plastics.
Did you have to work the next day
Yes.
in the morning? Ooh, at 3 o'clock at night, you had to get up and go to work in the morning?
Yeah, the previous evening was my grandmother's birthday. She passed away while I was home on leave from Army training.
Yeah, I thought, are you still in the Army?
Yes, I am an Army Reservist, Your Honor.
Okay. And I asked you before, does your CO know about this?
Yes, I talked to my first sergeant about it.
All right. Well, we're gonna set this for the same date, 9/22/25 at 11. That would have been a rough shift the next day. I'll ask you the same thing. Are you on probation or parole anyplace?
I'm not
And you're in the National Guard,
Army Reserve. Your
Army
Honor.
Reserve. And where, out of where?
Kalamazoo, right by the airport.
All right, I'll see you on September 22nd. And again, I'm glad you weren't hurt or anything worse. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, Zoe Parker. Well, Miss Parker, you don't seem to have made it into, there it is. That was there. I just couldn't see it. These are all on complaints rather than tickets. Are you Zoe Lynn Parker?
Yeah,
And you're from Coldwater?
yeah,
April 13th, you were charged with operating while intoxicated on Middle Colon Road. Same as the other cases, the prosecutors agreed to reduce this to a charge of impaired driving.
okay.
Mr. George, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've been waiting patiently. You heard me go through the advice of rights, and Mr. George had you execute a written one. Do you understand you're giving up those rights by entering this plea to impaired driving? Is that what you're going to plead to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do, Ms. Parker?
I work at a store
All right, this will allow you to drive back and forth to work at your.
and I have 2 kids, so.
All
I,
right.
if I have a restricted license, can I drive to and from like their doctor's appointments and that type of stuff?
Well, that's a good question. If you're in sobriety court, you can. It's less clear with a regular restricted license. I
But
would
they also
say,
go to school and like daycare.
probably the medical appointments, school and daycare are less clear. There's an exception for, you can request it. I'll leave it at that. So let's see what we're dealing with here. This was 10 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock at night. April 13th, which was a Sunday evening. You were in the middle of the road. And you were drunk and you were a .200. Oh, boy. How'd you end up there?
So my mom wanted a ride home. I ended up picking her up. Well, I didn't pick her up. My friend was driving me. He drove me to Bronson to pick her up, and then we drove to her house and they were fighting, so we drove to her neighbor's house, and then me and her neighbor ended up finishing the bottle that I was drinking, but my friend was driving the whole time. So, and then he walked away, he went down the road, my friend did. And yeah,
What was in the bottle?
vodka. I don't
I'm
know.
sure it was kerosene, vinegar,
No,
just straight vodka?
I don't remember the brand.
But were you mixing with something or just drinking
No.
out of the bottle?
No,
Straight vodka? All right. What do you, oh, you work at a store. What store?
I work at a dispensary.
Okay. Do you also use,
Huh?
do you also smoke marijuana?
No.
That's unusual. Well, you basically were passed out in the middle of the street. The other two guys went off the road. You didn't do that, but it's a very high blood alcohol level. Sunday night, drunk, straight vodka are all red flags for substance abuse problems. We're gonna do the same thing. We're all gonna be busy on 9/22/25 at 11. We'll do all three of these on the same morning, which will tie up my whole probation department, but all right. Where were your kids when this was going down?
They were at home with my babysitter.
All right, there's a lot of red
I was
flags here.
supposed to be going on a date. That's why I was already drinking, because we went out to eat and we're at the movies or whatever.
All right, well, there's a lot to unpack here. But it's a very high blood alcohol level, and you just sort of ran out of steam in the middle of the road at 10 o'clock at night out in the country. Fortunately, somebody didn't crash into you. All right, Ms. Parker, I will see you also on the 22nd at 11 o'clock. You take that out to the counter and they'll give you more information.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. We've come to be numbed to high blood alcohol levels. All three of those were 19 and 20, which is, if you look up in the dictionary, it's real drunk. And we're just sort of expect that everybody's gonna, it's 2.5 times the legal limit to drive a car. And this lady passed out. The other two guys ran off the road. We've become desensitized to high blood alcohol levels. All three of those could have been charged with high blood alcohol level, and they were all reduced to impaired. All right, Mr. George, we're on the home stretch here, I think.
Yes, sir.
And all three of those people need a restricted license.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please do let us know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you'd like to support what we do here, the best way to do it is to pick up some of our merch. You can find it at courtroomfiles.com.